So, good afternoon, viewers. Today we are on the platform to discuss a very important topic, that is anger. So, everyone in this world have this emotion. It's called emotion. So, Suresh sir is here to discuss on the topic of anger. So, sir, very we are welcoming you, sir, again, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah, so can we have a very quick question that what triggers this negative emotion?
Yeah,
And could you
that's
please
nice.
brief the emotion as well?
Yeah. You see, emotion is one of the important component which is formed by the feelings. Basically, feelings comes from the consciousness, and where from the consciousness comes, we are not very clear. No one is very clear. Now, as far as this emotion is concerned, it's a negative emotion. It's a real big subject, but this is very important subject. So this just grips us. This can just take over everything, and but this is of different types. And depending upon the types, there are various triggers. Sometimes there can be healthy anger, and this healthy anger is when someone cross the boundaries, or let's say somebody is disobedient, or in that situation, we can show anger, and that can be useful thing. So it's not always the anger is negative, but by default, it's a negative emotion. At time, it can be a passive anger also. No, in the passive anger means when we are not happy with some sort of relationship or the environment or in the office or with some sort of peer group, but we keep on cribbing our own self in our own self. So basically, it's more like an internal phenomena. There is some sort of electrical potential which keeps on cribbing as far as our mind is concerned, and this sort of passive anger results very bad. It causes apathy. It causes some sort of sarcastism. It can cause missing the schools or missing the friends, or sometimes this can cause some sort of violence also if one doesn't find the alternative route. But the most important is the what we feel or what we see every day, and we are also involved by one or the other reason, despite of being cool or having a good self-control. And that's what is the outward anger. Outward anger when we becomes angry, maybe with friends or near dears, peers, or maybe in the society or in a group. So this is most of the time caused by stress, by some sort of financial constraints, or some sort of a relationship fatigue, maybe violence. So obviously, no, in the mode of survival for the fittest, no one is going to tolerate violence. Abuse, family problems, all these things can cause create anger. But you see, the anger is of different intensity, can be of different duration, and can be frequency. For example, if somebody is angry momentarily once in a month, that may not harm him or her. But contrarily, in case the person is frequently in the angry mood, more like angry bird, then of course this is going to be harmful. Another important thing is what I'll say. There is another type of anger that is known as sham raise. Sham raise means we'll say this is a false type of anger. So it's just, what are you doing it? So basically, we don't mean it, but sometimes just to fulfill the gap, maybe with some sort of persons on the other side, this can be also used. So these are the various types of anger and the various causes for this.
So,
Yeah,
sir,
yes.
yeah. So, do you think like anger can be positive sometime?
Yeah, this can be a positive. Surely, anger can be a positive thing. Sometimes even self anger can be positive. You see, we have committed some sort of mistake, and after committing the mistake, our better sense. You see, as well as anger is concerned, most of the time this starts from the amygdala, and this is the quick reaction because the amygdala takes the upper hand as far as our frontal lobe, which controls the amygdala. The pathway is such that transformation of the message from the wise brain goes to the amygdala a little late. So that's by the time the amygdala already has done it. So that's why it's important. And the healthy anger means when we are fully aware what are we doing it. Sometimes we are able to control it as far as the intensity is concerned and the duration is concerned, and we can make it more like a volatile situation. So volatile situation means obviously by virtue of our frontal lobe, by virtue of our good sense, and that situation, small anger necessary and can be healthy anger also.
So, yeah. So, another question, sir. So how does
Yeah.
like no this anger can affect us, sir?
Yeah, so this I just take the best part of us. So maybe somebody's highly placed and having a lot of wisdom, somebody's peace of mind and everything. It can just flip everything, just like that. It can affect, infect our body, all the organs of the body. More maybe as far as the heart is concerned, or the body immunity is concerned. As far as the body is concerned, by default, good number of patients with anger, they present to the doctors or to their own near ears, like they are fatigued, they are drained out, they are having some sort of bumping in the abdomen, or they are having palpitation, the heart is racing. They may be having some heaviness in the head, or maybe some funny sensation in the head, or maybe empty-headedness. And they may have, as I have just told you, high blood pressure, they may be breathlessness, or there may be sometimes the dizzy sensation. But as far as the brain is concerned, uh, most of the time, as far as the brain is concerned, we are in perceiving the things. When we are in anger mode, there is going to be, rather, we are going to focus sharp. We are going to become more vigilant. Our attention will be increased. But at the same time, once this is associated with other things, like I've told you, high blood pressure, this can create havoc for the brain. There can be stroke. This can cause surely trips in memory as well as in intellect. So, despite of having large memory and very good intelligence, still it can harm you when you are in bad anger. Or this can cause sometimes agitation or some sort of physical abuse also. So, as far as the mind own, because this is a game of the mind, but this affects the mind itself also. This creates feelings of hatred, frustration, blame game, irritability, or there can be anxiety, very bad for our body and mind. There may be feeling of guilt. Why I have done this anger? This was not necessitated. Maybe for this is what I'm telling you. The game is between the brain,
Mhm.
amygdala, as
Mhm.
well as the frontal lobe. So
Mhm.
frontal lobe comes later. So there may be feeling of guilt. Sometimes there may be feeling of revenge, which is not a good thing. And how does this affect our children learning process? This is very important. You see, as far as the anger is concerned, most of the time the children become aware of all these things and start showing the anger around 1.5 years of age. This affects their learning. This affects their skills, social skills. Sometimes I have seen so many persons with anger, they don't have let out. They are somehow socially inhibited, and maybe having some sort of tics, or maybe shrugging of the shoulders time and again. Are there a problem with the relationships with the parents, with the friends, with the teachers, and this affect overall scenario. So this anger is surely very bad. Yes, Sachin.
So, sir, can anyone control or overrule the anger?
Yeah, there are so many means. First of all, as I've just discussed, there are many reasons for that. You see, but we should be rather be careful. So we are careful when we are crossing a road. We are careful that we are having little anxiety that somebody may not hit us. So likewise, once we are foreseeing some sort of situation that where there is going to be some sort of argument, heat, or anger, one should be well prepared with that sort of situation, so that you at that time are not going to react. Just act, be cool. Just don't become more like a popcorn. Just have chill and keep yourself cool. Try to put your foot forward in the right perspective. I think that's one of the very good thing where the anger can be controlled. Our own anger can be controlled, because it's like angry people, they hurt others, they hurt themselves also. So it's better to be cool. That's one important thing. The another important thing is deep breathing. So this is deep breathing, somehow it stimulates our vagus nerve, and this can play some positive role as far as our autonomic nervous system, through which anger is depicted and is carried out, executed in our body from the brain. Another important thing is divert your mind. So this is very important. And as I have said, for anything which is as far as negative thinking is concerned, in case we leave that place, maybe even for 1 minute or 2 minutes, or we are at that particular time having putting our thoughts in a different pathway, or at the time we are just focusing on something else, maybe start counting in the reverse counting, or we just focus on something else, feel the feedback, what is going to happen as far as this particular incidence is concerned, or the extent of the anger phenomena is concerned. So while we are getting into this, it's always better to think simultaneously, because our brain keeps on working also while we are in the anger. Detachment is another important thing, is because basically I see that we are linked once after the birth, and growing up, we are attached to our so many things, maybe ego, or maybe near dears, or maybe wantings, aspirations, acquisitions. So, and in case we are not able to have that, that generates bad these emotions as well as anger. So getting detached to a limit, because I'm not saying that you shouldn't love something, you should not harness something, you should not move ahead to see this beautiful world. Do everything, but not with too much deep in the water. I say swim, but not too much deep in the water. So share with something, as far as your pent up emotion is concerned, as far as something which has happened, it's always better to share with something.
Yeah.
Better, don't hold the grudges. Another important thing, as far as the psychologist or psychiatrist is concerned, once that is needed, there are so many medicines available for this, as well as without medicines also we can have counseling in the shape of cognitive behavior therapy. This is of immense use, and this is basically just making you more aware of about your own self. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, sir, could you please explain us, sir, some what are its like mimickers of anger?
Yeah, there are many mimickers. They are one of the important thing is concerned. First of all, say not disease, because there are certain diseases which is associated with anger. But then in the normal phenomena, there is something what is known as hyperactivity. So hyperactivity may be one of the instinct from the very beginning. There are a good number of child nowadays where the hyperactivity is seen by virtue of the fact, because each and every pregnancy is precious pregnancy. Gone are the days when we were not having many children and not bothering too much about those things. But suppose if there is a child who is premature, is more likely to have cerebral palsy, or maybe attention deficit hyperactive situation. This hyperactivity can continue even in the later age. There can be simple hyperactivity, and this impulsivity which goes with the this hyperactivity is momentary, because they want quick result. They are very vocal, that they will try to share their own real things, or things which they should not share it with others, but they want immediately results. So impulsivity. So there is a little line between the impulsivity, and if there is a some sort of they feel that there is some sort of harm, or they contemplate in their mind, this impulsivity is going to end up into anger. So there are the diseases in the way I told you, that this sometimes these those persons who are having big ego, lot of obsessions. You see, ego can be in different type. It can be seen in jealousy also. I will say in aspirations also. Ego can be seen much in a obsessed person also, in a closed mind person also. So maybe in bipolar disorders or certain other neurotic disorders, as far as anger is concerned, that can be seen.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm very clear about, sir, now about the anger. And sir, do you have any special message for who are getting very quick angry or like short tempered? So do you want to give any special message and some
Yeah.
special task to control their anger, sir?
Yeah, you see, this is one of the very important thing. All of us, we take care of about our bank accounts.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you see, we'll say that there is a, because why that is needed as well as maybe in some sort of emergency. Same should be true as far as the anger is concerned. We should try to have some stress busters. We are stressed, we are challenged. So during that particular time, we should not behave like a popcorn. So I think that's one of the important message which we must carry with us. Things are not going to change in any way in case we are going to have some sort of fight on trivial issues, or maybe involving our own ego, and maybe just focused with our own self only, and or we are meek, bleak, and we are not able to say the things clearly. I think one should be cool. One should present one own self in the right way, in the cool way, and foresee that this situation may cause some sort of anger. So try to avoid that, try to divert your mind, and try to take deep breaths before the things actually start happening.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. So, uh, so do you want to give any brief idea about the next episode? What we are going to have, sir?
About the what? Sorry.
Next episode, when we are going to meet for the next episode?
Yeah, maybe within few days. Yeah, because I'm very, very rather liking having these things shared with you. These are the common things which comes and affect our lifestyles. Each and every one, irrespective of the status or the richness or the name, fame, or maybe the qualifications. So I feel everyone is having this sort of negative emotion which should be checked. So similarly, so many other things which is very close to the lifestyle I'll keep on discussing. Maybe next in few days. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.